Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Host Fred Arnold on the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Andre Assaiante.
Very good.
I get that right?
Excellent.
Assaiante, Valencia Symphony Orchestra.
That's correct.
You love music, don't you?
I love symphonic music. I love a lot of different forms of music, but my favorite has to be symphonic music, whether it's in an orchestra hall or whether I'm watching a film or, whether there's a string orchestra somewhere.
So you must have an ear for hearing different sounds.
I don't. Yeah,
Gift.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a pretty good ear, I suppose.
Yeah. To find that every tone and every note and every sound. So let's talk about the Valencia Symphony Orchestra.
Yes.
You founded that.
I did. I'm the board chair and the music director. We have a small board, and we'll talk about that at the end because we're going to make a plea for, as my development director calls, a small army of volunteers to do everything from fundraising to awareness and show prep and all that sort of thing. But so I founded the orchestra. There's many levels to it. There's the part that we put on our Form 990, which is to create the highest level of music to the broadest audience. Then there's what we put on our website, which is to create, engage, serve, which is all about creating beautiful music, engaging people, and serving the community in their musical, non-musical needs. And then there's the third level, which is, and we'll go into it a little bit more, but what I wanted to get out of an orchestra, so to speak, and why I formed it specifically, and we can talk about it on a.
I know they're going to play some music, so we'll put some headsets on.
Yeah, sure.
Tell me more about engage.
So engaging an audience. This is what you do. Is symphonic music is an acquired taste. It's just like anything else, though. If you've never had Thai food or Ethiopian food, you'd never know, do I like this? It's like when you serve the squash soup to your kid and they say, do I like this? I don't know. Have you tried? Also, sometimes elderly people can't remember whether they like things or not, but that's another story. So you start with what people are familiar with, and then you broaden it from there. That, to me, is how you engage an audience. And so now we approach it from, well, what do people know? They know the classics. They know Beethoven. They know some Mozart and maybe some Bach or something like that. But it's hard to grab them. I mean, there are specific reasons why people are hesitant to attend classical music. There are some parts that are just, I don't want to say complicated, but they don't appeal to the ear that most people have. On the other hand, people love films and film music, and it's my belief that the symphonic world today owes its very existence to the ubiquity of film music. Because if you count up the number of dollars that are spent in this country on live music versus music that's recorded, it's about 50-50. There are musicians recording in New York and in Nashville and in Los Angeles constantly making film music. And so people, will see the big films, the Star Treks, the Star Wars, the Home Alones and all that, and they grow to love the music. And then so my goal to engage the audience is really to start from that known and expand from there. But it's all in the name of symphonic music, not necessarily classical. It's all symphonic music.
It's interesting because when you talk about that,
yes,
and we played this background music that was playing,
yes, right,
we don't think of the films, but that's what catches our. That's what adds emotion.
Yes, exactly.
No, that's what adds drama, emotion, excitement. Right.
All the suspense, all of the tenderness, all the love, all the fear, all of the panic.
Love.
Yes, exactly. So what we're doing. Thank you for asking. We're actually our first concert is going to be on Saturday, and we're performing at the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at 8:00 on the 29th, and we're actually doing. So we're working backwards. We're working from film. This is not something that people would know. This is original music written out of the Berklee College. There are 8 filmmaker students that are musicians, but they're really filmmakers because every down to the millisecond they have to know what's happening on the screen, and they're composing to what's happening on the screen. This is an original piece that was premiered last year. We're doing the West Coast premiere. I've got an orchestra of 35 live, including some exotic things like a Moog synthesizer and a theremin, which is a wacky thing that sounds like the theme from Star Trek. I don't know if the old folks remember that.
Whoa, old folks.
Yes,
I remember that, and I'm not that old. Okay,
I don't know.
Come on, Andre.
I don't know what's on. I don't know what's on. On reruns or whatever. I don't know what channel.
TV channel. What was it? The TV show channel.
The Me TV or whatever that is. So yes. So we're keeping in the theme of film for this particular show. Folks may not know the music, but it's the movie is Nosferatu. It's the unauthorized Dracula story from 1922 Weimar, Germany.
You're going back.
We're going back. It's the oldest existing vampire movie. And there were other vampire movies leading up to this, maybe as many as 20, but they were all lost. And all they have is the name of the director and the name of the film and the date. They were all pretty much straight up Dracula. And this particular director, F.W. Murnau, wanted to make something slightly different. So he changed the name of the title. He changed the name of the Count. He changed the name of the main characters. But he never told the widow of Bram Stoker any of this. So when the film came out, she sued him. So so they did it back then. They were doing it back then too. Yes, exactly.
So we only have a couple more minutes, but tell me about what does it mean by your live to picture?
Live to picture. So live to picture, live in concert are interchangeable. You'll see, for example, every week the orchestra is actually a member of the League of American Orchestras, and every Monday I get this email that says what's happening in the symphony world this week. Every week there's a major orchestra doing quote unquote live in concert or live in picture, and that's where you have the orchestra, and behind them on a screen is a motion picture of some sort.
So there's two things you have to grab then. In your industry, you're grabbing the actual musicians to play it the way you want to play it,
right.
And then you got to match that to film.
That's correct. Yeah, there are various techniques. In my case, there's the conductor actually has his own screen where there are visual devices, lines that go across, little flashy things, and multiple pops in a row that will tell you exactly when things hit, and that's all about, once again, the emotion bit, right? Where someone, like coming up right now, she throws the window open and she looks out the window because she's, I don't want to give it away, she's telepathically communicating with the Count, and so all that has to be timed, and so the conductor has visual cues to make sure we're not ahead or behind when something dramatic happens, like a hatchet chop or a finger cut or someone falling off the boat, kind of thing. It's pretty. It really is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun for me, and I stay up at night.
Well, I'm in suspense now. I like the telepathic communication. I think you could telepathically communicate with people.
What's that?
You can, can't you?
Oh, I don't know. That's
absolutely.
The Count was telepathically communicating with Helen or Ellen. Sorry.
You want to mention before we finish up here? You're looking for volunteers.
Well, we're looking for volunteers, right? So let's start with the website, valenciasymphony.org. If you go there and then find out what we're looking for. But basically, for the next performance, we don't know exactly when it's going to be or where it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to involve a film, though. The rights to use some of these films are extremely expensive, so we would need to get funding for that. The orchestra we're using for this weekend show is an orchestra of about 35. If we go out with something like, let's just throw out there that next Halloween we're going to do Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
Nice.
Let's just say that.
If you get the funding for it.
If we're going to need the funding for that, and then the orchestra's going to have to be 50, 55 people. There's probably going to be singers, probably a kids choir, as you recall. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody dressed up like a dog with a red nose. I don't know. So all that's going to require, logistics and funding and that sort of thing. So if anyone's interested in orchestral music like I am, or some percent of that, come talk to us. We're actually having our ribbon cutting this afternoon in the lobby of the theater of the Performing Arts Center. So if you want to meet us, that would be a great place to go. We have raffle prizes and popcorn. We're actually going to show parts of the movie. Yeah,
nice.
With popcorn.
Those who want to reach out again, website?
valenciasymphony.org.
Andre, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you for
sir.
coming in. Thanks for sharing. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll be a smashing success.
All right.
Andre Assaiante.
That's exactly correct. Thank you.
Valencia Symphony Orchestra. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. This show's Fred Arnold on AM 1220 KHTS.